The purpose of this video is to show you how to import a Zephyr West workspace, to create a Zephyr application, and to flash and debug the app. We're going to use Zephyr project on VSCode that works on Windows, Linux, and Mac. And this is based on an extension called Workbench for Zephyr, which works on any platform that is supported by Zephyr, like the STM32, NXP, ESP32. It is just an open source universal VS Code extension. So you should start from an existing VS Code installation, and then you must go to the marketplace, and then you must search for the Workbench for Zephyr. This is how it looks like. And then, of course, you must install this extension. You must trust the publishers. So after the extension is installed, it will check the setup, and then it will tell you that it needs to install the host tools. So of course you must click on install host tools to install the host tool dependencies. So host tool dependencies, these are the Zephyr dependencies in order to work on your computer, which are specific for each operating system. It will just basically install Python, the DeviceTree compiler, Git, and some of the other needed tools in order to Zephyr to work. It will also create a virtual environment, a global virtual environment that will be used by default, but you can also later on set up a local environment. So the installation might take between 5 to 10 minutes depending on your internet speed and the performance of your computer. And in case of any issue, I will leave a link for the known issues that will help you to fix the error that might happen at this step. So at the end, it will check the installed packages, and it should show you that all the specified packages are installed. I recommend also to check the log to make sure that everything was installed successfully here. So and then you go to the extension. You can open the host tool manager. You can check if the tools are installed correctly. Here you can see the tools that are installed and the versions of these tools. You can also change this tool, configure them. You can also add your custom tools if you want to. Next, we're going to install the toolchain. So here we have a choice between different toolchains. By default, we're going to use Zephyr SDK. This is the most popular toolchain that is used on Zephyr. You can install the full SDK. And if you're not sure which version to open, you can use this. You can open the question mark. This will show you an Excel for the compatibility matrix. So here I'm just going to use the version 17.4 or the Linux 4.2. So here I will just choose this version. I will only install for ARM 32-bit. You can just select multiple if you want. And of course you need to specify where to download it. And then you click on import to install the Zephyr SDK. So it will just download it and place it in a location, and it's going to be used now by Zephyr Workbench. So the next thing, we need to import Zephyr, and we need to initialize the workspace. So here we have two options, either minimal or repository. So repository is just going to install everything, like very large. I'd recommend it if you're not sure. So it will just download everything. But if not, we provide some templates. Like for example, here you can search for the template you want. Here we have a template for STM32 that I'm going to use. And you can specify the version. So I'm just going to use the tag 4.2.0. That also work with the SDK 17.4. And I will specify which location. Here you might need to create a subfolder. So to place everything in a subfolder. So I will create a new folder and give the name to this new folder. So this will contain my Zephyr West workspace. And then you must click on import. Here it will just do West init and West update just to download Zephyr and the modules. Here it might take a couple of minutes depending, of course, on the internet speed and the modules being downloaded. Here depending on each template, of course. Okay, so at the end, you must say yes. And there you go. Here it will just refresh everything and will tell you I have this West workspace with this version. You can eventually add some custom apps if you want to do more advanced configuration. Now let's create the app. Let's do create a new application. You must tell it is attached to which workspace. So it is part of this Zephyr project workspace that we have just imported. We're using this SDK. Here it will parse the different boards and give you suggestions about the boards. You can also add custom boards. They will also be detected. So I'm going to use here the STM32 F7 Discovery. So you can use any board like from ST and XP, any vendor. They should all work. It is a new application because I will start from a new sample. So here you can search for the sample. So Blinky, or you can just whatever the sample in Zephyr, you can search for it, or you can just start from Hello World. I will use Hello World just for the purpose of this demo. And you specify the location where you want this project to be placed. So you can place it anywhere you want. Here you can change other options if you want, and you can decide to use global or local. So use global if you're not sure about what you use, and then you create. And now you're going to have your application created. So this is the application, and if you go to the file manager, you have the Hello World application, the source main source file. So at the beginning, you might get some errors, the index is error, because first you need to build it. So to build it, you do right-click build on the app, or there are many ways. So you can do also right here build on this one, or right-click build. So all of these can eventually build the application. There are many options for building and customizing the build here. So now it's going to build the application. By the way, it might be slow on Windows. This is because of the antivirus that is checking everything on Windows. This is a common Zephyr problem. You can fix it by excluding add an exclusion to the folder on Windows Defender. It is also on the Zephyr on the Workbench for Zephyr documentation. You can find how to do that. You just need to do a Defender exclusion for the folder being used. So now the compilation of the project is happening. So once it's done, so here you don't have any error, it will tell you that it was generated, and you're going to have the report at the end. Okay, and if you have noticed, like on the source code now, it will detect the indexer. So IntelliSense now detected the value of the everything. So now how to run and debug it. So in Zephyr, we have the concept of runners. So runners are just the tools that are specific to each tool. So here we have to each vendor. So here we have install runners, a panel to help you to easily install the runners. We have a bunch of them, not everything. You can also add anything you want. So by default, we install only the OpenSCD provided by Zephyr, but here on my computer, it has already auto-detected some of the tools. So for example, if you want for STM32, you can just open the pack. It will just tell you all the tools that might be needed for STM32. So it could be JLink or the Qprogrammer. So of course, you must install the Qprogrammer here. In my case, it is on Windows, so you just do install it on Windows. You might need also to create an account on the ST website to install or provide an email. And this is for JLink in order to install it if you want to use a JLink. So once done, you must refresh here the status, and it will tell you it is going to be auto-detected. If not, you can manually set it. If you use the default option, it is auto-detected. So now you have the application. If you want to run it, you can do right-click run. And this will ask you which runner you want to use, or you can do right-click and set default runner. And in this case, you can just use a runner that's going to be used by default. And this, when you click on it, it will take a while. It will just check and for compatible runners, and it will tell you what are your options. So here my options are this one. So you just select one and you just use it. Now, if you want to debug, firstly, make sure that you have OpenOCD that is installed for the STM32, and you can just do right-click debug or click on the debug icon or debug manager. Debug manager is the panel that is used for any project in order to debug it, to help you creating a debug session. So you specify the project, and here it will tell you what are the compatible runners. So it is OpenOCD, and it will tell you if the runner was detected as well. So OpenOCD is usually installed by default, so it will be detected. Just make sure Qprogrammer for STM32 is also installed. And there you go, you have a working debug session on this board. So of course, for different boards, you might use different runners. And here you can see the registers. You can also provide the SVD in case you also want to see the different peripherals. You can also see the output of the printf on the serial monitor. So on Workbench for Zephyr, we have many other features. When you go to a project, you can just right click on any application. You have many options. I will let you discover the different options, but let me highlight a few of them. You can go to the menu config to edit the config options. You can also use guiconfig, which is the same thing as menu config. Here you can just set the options you want. And you have many other options, like also for memory analysis. For example, you can use pond cover, you can use RAM report, ROM report. So this is an example of a RAM report. It will tell you the space used by each variable and the impact on the RAM. And we can also clean. And we can also open a terminal. So opening a terminal, because a lot of people prefer to use a terminal, you can run your WASD commands. You can also configure different terminals. You can use MSys, you can use Sigwint, they should work. So everything here, it is documented. You have on the zworkbench.com, you have the full documentation on most of the options and how to install it also on Linux, on Mac, and some tips. You can also see some advanced things, so how to do it. You can go to the link z-workbench.com and you can see all the documentation and also tutorials specific for different boards like Arduino, ESP32, and of course the NXP and other vendors. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy it and thank you for watching.